Madden football is the home of Super Bowl 56, and this historic matchup is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Rams and the Bengals, and it's coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Tonight, it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy, as it'll be the AFC champion Cincinnati Bengals taking on the NFC champions, the Los Angeles Rams. Brandon Gaudin joined by my good friend Charles Davis. And Charles, it was maybe the most unlikely Super Bowl run we've seen in a long time. What a story. The Bengals had not won a playoff game since January of 1991. 4-11-1 last year, 2-14 the season before that. Bottom line, though, here they are, the AFC champs.
And Brandon, this is one of the more remarkable turnarounds in NFL history in recent years. In fact, most of the guys on this team weren't even born the last time they won a playoff game. Although, not that long ago, they had a stretch where they were in the playoffs seemingly every year, but couldn't win a playoff game. Now they've gotten that done. They're back in the Super Bowl. And remember, 2 Super Bowl appearances in their history. Number 16 and 23. Unfortunately, both times they ran into Joe Montana and the San Francisco 49ers.
Meanwhile, the LA Rams, they are back in the Super Bowl for the second time in 4 years. Remember, they lost Super Bowl 53 to the Patriots in Atlanta 13-3. But here they are trying to be the second team in 2 years after Tampa Bay last year to win the Super Bowl in their home stadium.
And we go back to that Super Bowl loss to the Patriots, and remember, they were an offensive juggernaut at that time, but only put up 3 points in that game. And they have been a little bit of a tough team to pin down over the last few years. They've had their shares of ups and downs, especially on the offensive side of the ball, but they've always had that great defense, and they're looking to ride that crew to a Super Bowl crown.
And he ran right through one tackle as he fights forward for a gain of 7.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be third and about a foot or 2. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Buying time to his left. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. And now they will throw it with Burrow. Flush to his right. Man open, that's Jamar Chase complete. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A little glimpse of his athleticism there and what they're going to have to deal with. He can use his legs to dance around back behind the line of scrimmage and beyond the line of scrimmage.
And wouldn't you love to get a copy of their defensive scouting report going into the week? Because that's been stressed the whole time. Keep him bottled up. Keep him in the pocket. But it's the first drive of the game and emotions are running high. Someone forgot that, trying to make a big play, and gave up a bigger one instead.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
On 2nd and 7, Burrow. Got an open man, that's C.J. Uzomah. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3.
It doesn't matter where on the field he is, even down here in the red zone, he is still slippery with the ball in his hands, and he was almost able to work his way into the end zone. Instead, they'll have to settle for first and goal, but they'll take it.
chance for the first points of this Super Bowl. It's 1st and goal. Mixon. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Mixon again. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, and now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a...
And did he get in? Yes, they say it's a touchdown. With a first touchdown of this Super Bowl, and a long one at that. And the Bengals are on the board first here in this Super Bowl. First quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Evan McPherson for the extra point. And he's got it to make it 7-0 Bengals. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it all culminated in the touchdown run coming from Joe Mixon. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. From the end zone, here comes Brandon Powell. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. They'll be led out by a former Pro Bowl quarterback out of the University of Georgia, Matthew Stafford.
And he comes in off of a tremendous game in the NFC Championship round 2 weeks ago. This has been a team all season long that's really taken their identity from their quarterback, and he's been very vocal in days leading up to this game that he believes that this is their time, and he's going to do all he can to will them to a Super Bowl win.
Pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. Let's see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown in the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up. I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game. But this seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that first down on third down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in the hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot, and they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot of momentum. You get down 2 scores, could be an entirely different game.
So they've got a nice drive going now. They're in good shape. What's interesting to me is they're also in that spot of the field where you would take a shot. Do you change that up just because you're down a touchdown?
And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
The Rams with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 2nd down and 2 coming up. Off of play action, here's Stafford. And a little floater there is incomplete.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for this with Akers. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown in the first drive. How about how they're responding and coming back? That's a big third down pickup to keep their drive alive.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Stafford. Escaping the pressure right. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
Here's a run with Akers on 2nd down. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line.
This has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
First and goal, and a chance to get that initial touchdown right back. Akers will score. Touchdown, L.A. Solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up, meaning when you get on a guy, you just stay right there. Each guy has his own assignment that allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
Gay on for the extra point. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. A 10-play drive that time. And it was Cam Akers who capped it off with a touchdown. Team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. No return here for Wilson. To touch back, it'll come out to the 25. The Bengals drive about to get going. After the long touchdown drive we just saw, you wonder if maybe that's taken a little of the wind out of this offensive sails because they had it going pretty good last time, too.
Had to sit over there for...
Gets through, and now an opening. Well, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A big play that time on the catch and run. CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we could at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there.
And as a former defender, I can tell you with certainty, those are the ones that have you losing sleep at night. I would not like to be in that film room on Tuesday going over that one. Just a pretty poor effort defensively, and it leads to a big play.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the initial contact on the next-gen stats. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurdling through them.
Now Joe Mixon. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 40 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. Actually broke that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
And the Bengals are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. Now Burrow to Mixon on the check down. And a good display of footwork will only get him just inside the 5 to the 4. That catch good for only a couple.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
And that'll be caught. Touchdown, Bengals. It's Tyler Boyd. 4 yards on the touchdown grab. And the Bengals have taken the lead. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
And McPherson on for the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it's finished off with a Cincinnati touchdown. So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. Powell now to take it out of the end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. So the Rams coming back onto the field, their 2nd drive of the game. They trail a 1-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10. Now Stafford. He'll dump this off to Akers. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd and very short.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. He's got a man, complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in the defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the 1st down.
Meanwhile, Stafford's throw pulled in by Woods. 7 yards, the pickup there. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Second down and 3. Throwing again is Stafford. Open man is Higbee, the tight end. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 26. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the left hash mark, this a 43-yard attempt. And Gay knocks this one through. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So the margin shrinks there as they get the field goal to draw them a bit closer here in the second quarter.
Yeah, nice snap, nice hold. They just want to keep this game close, so give them credit for finishing that one off with 3.
Maybe time for one play on offense. 7 seconds to go in the half as the kick is away. From his end zone, Wilson. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. All that remains is to snap this once, and that'll do it for the first half of play. So we've reached halftime here in the Super Bowl as we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. First, though, a check of the next-gen stats in that first half for the Rams. And they weren't able to get a whole lot done throwing the football. That'll likely be a big key if they want to turn things around in the second half. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, we check out their numbers on the ground as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half. These two teams have had plenty of extra time to make their final adjustments, but time's just about up. The final half of the NFL season is upon us. So let's get it back out to our Super Bowl broadcast team. Here's Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. Powell now to take it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Rams offense ready to begin quarter number 3. And they trail here in this Super Bowl, but fortunately for them, Charles, very much still within striking range.
Yeah, things didn't go exactly the way they planned in the first half. To me, they appeared to be a little bit tight, made a few errors they normally wouldn't. But, of course, this is the Super Bowl, so things get a little bit heightened in that regard. But I think they have to feel a little fortunate. They're only down what they are here starting the third quarter.
And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he was able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Back to throw, Stafford. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. Thirteen yards remaining on second down. From the gun, here's Stafford. Now he'll square up and throw deep left sideline. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield.
Under the category of obvious, you hate giving up a first down on 3rd and long, and somehow he finds his way downfield and picks it up.
And if you look at the coverage defensively, oh, this is great, but no one accounted for him at the quarterback spot.
At some point, you actually have to tackle it and get him on the ground short of the first down marker.
2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. To throw is Stafford. Flushed out right. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 30-yard line.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
Now a throw here to his running back. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
I love the drive they're working on here because they know they can take the lead with a touchdown. And so far on this drive, so good. They moved the ball down the field with very little resistance defensively, but they better be prepared for some adjustments to come their way now.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. DJ Reader. He's the culprit, dropping him for a 2-yard loss.
I know I'm supposed to do the analysis here, but I've got to ask, how did he stay alive that long in the pocket?
Yeah, great footwork, which we know he has. If he would have been able to stay alive, get rid of the ball, or run for some yardage, he would have had a very unhappy defensive coordinator, I believe.
No doubt about that.
And the Rams are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
Stafford. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, LA. Odell Beckham there to make the grab. And the Rams have regained the lead in the second half of this Super Bowl. They went empty backfield, all their weapons out wide, so there really was no secret here to what they were going to do.
No secret, but they still had to execute it, and they still had to protect the guy throwing the ball, because oftentimes when you empty the backfield, people bring pressure at you. They managed to hold in there and successfully complete the touchdown pass.
Extra point by Gay is up and good, and it's now 17-14. The touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. From his end zone, Wilson. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
The throw down the field, caught by his running back. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. It looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Burrow will throw. And the Rams got him. They bring him down. Sean Robinson, credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
To try again after the sack. Burrow eluding the pressure right. He's going to let this go deep, back over the middle. And it is caught at the 10-yard line. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score.
If there was one knock on Joe Burrow coming out of LSU, it was arm strength, but kind of put those doubts to rest right there.
And I'm telling you, nothing will light up a crowd more than a play like that. Here in the stadium, all eyes were on the receiver streaking downfield, and you know everyone was thinking, throw it, he's open. What a connection there for the touchdown.
And that throw, pretty impressive, and even 61 yards through the air. McPherson on for the point after.
It's up and good to make it 21-17. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it ends with a Bengals score.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Powell now to take it out of the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. They had gotten the lead with the opening drive touchdown in the 3rd quarter. Now they relinquish that lead back. Could be in for an interesting second half.
It certainly appears that way, doesn't it? Almost turning into one of those pendulum games, right, where it swings back and forth, and who's going to make the play that changes that maybe it puts it on one side and keeps it there.
Flush to his right. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock is going off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
Now a first down throw, Stafford. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. 1 quarter remains here in the Super Bowl. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, Stafford. Escaping, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Sam Hubbard making his presence felt in the backfield.
Well, we knew this guy wasn't especially fleet of foot, but he tried to conjure up some escapability, but there was no way he was getting away on that one.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
And that almost intercepted. Oh, they would have loved to have their first pick of the game right there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Here's Johnny Hacker now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here.
And the tension ratcheting up all around. A 1-score game. 4th quarter of the Super Bowl. This is what you folks came for. Every play with the potential to win or lose a title as they look to drain some time off this clock.
Throwing now, Burrow on first down.
That's taken in by Higgins.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Ran a perfect defense in this situation. Would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, You see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. That is an absolute backbreaker. That was a design passing play, wasn't a draw. You think you got him stopped, good coverage downfield, and he's able to pick up the first with his legs. Defensively, that kicks into your psyche and hurts a little bit, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and here's the thing.
And the Rams got him. They bring him down. Leonard Floyd charging hard from that linebacker spot, and he drops him for a loss of 11.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss. Meanwhile, Burrow's throw caught by Higgins.
That's a good bounce-back play right there after taking a sack on first down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call through the offensive coordinator. You like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Boyd. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave them off because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here. Down late, tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or a takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
So that one a disaster. A big loss there with second down coming up. To the air again, Burrow. And Burrow going to be hit and taken down. They got him. Sebastian Joseph Day breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. A strong running. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Call it an even 20 yards on the pickup. And it'll be 4th down. Here's Kevin Huber now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. So now Stafford and the Rams down 21-17. A little over 80 ticks to go. A touchdown could win the Super Bowl as they've got a first down. Now Stafford steps away to his left. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Well, to me, this leads to the question, do you admire the way he puts his body out there all the time, or do you think he should protect himself a little bit more?
Well, he's been on the ground several times with all those sacks that he's taken. So, I don't know, I kind of admire him not sliding down there, don't you?
I'm with you on that one. The meter definitely leans towards admiration.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Stafford. Open man, Higbee, the tight end. And he's taken down inside the 30. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play. Stafford now to throw. Flushed out right. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. The Rams going to be forced to use their third and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. Now it's Stafford. And he's got it. It's caught for a touchdown. And they have taken the lead here in the final seconds.
How many people watching this one right here gave up? Because that score, they might want to try and rush back into this stadium.
Yeah, what looks like is going to be the game-deciding score, although a little bit of time left, so you can't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Well, they better come back in here and watch this one, because you and I, we're not going anywhere. We want to see this one play out.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And it would appear, barring some late heroics, they're going to get out of here with a come-from-behind victory. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. From his end zone, Wilson. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Cincinnati set to take over once again. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary, but you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up for an easier shot at it.
Let's see if they can do it. Might be easier said than done. Open man is Uzama. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. And a timeout is called. So now you're looking at probably just one final play from back in their own territory, and they're going to need a miracle. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Burrow. Eluding the pressure right. Finding some room at midfield. Still fighting for more. And finally down at the 36-yard line. The Rams have won the Super Bowl, and they will get the Lombardi Trophy. And their remarkable season ends in the most remarkable of ways. They get to put next to their name, Super Bowl champion.
And they can't ever take that away, can they?
Nope.
That lasts forever. So good to see the emotion when it's all said and done. You see the hugs, you see the guys sharing, the collective happiness. Makes me want to carry you around a little bit on my shoulders to celebrate the triumph. And congratulations to them, a fantastic season.